Hi guys, so today I'm going to be looking at a screen washer pump not working. There's no fluid coming out, I can't hear the pump going, so we're going to go through the motions to investigate the cause of why that's not working. So we'll get straight into it and see what we find. So obviously I've done the basic check, making sure that we have water in the tank, but as I said earlier, there is no noise from the pump when you operate it. So I'm going to go now and check the fuses. On this particular model, the fuse box is in underneath the steering wheel. This will vary from model to model, but if you was to look in your owner's manual or do a Google search to see where yours is located, you'll get the answer where to be looking. So here are the fuses. Now what I'm going to be doing using a multimeter is we're going to go through and check each fuse, so you can either check to see if you've got a feed going through with the ignition on. Okay, so what you'll do is with the both parts of your multimeter, you're going to put on the contact each side of the fuse. Okay, so you've got the blade there. Okay, so you put your red lead one side, your black lead the other side at the same time, and then look at your multimeter to make sure you've got a feed on both sides. Or what we can also do is we can take the fuses out and look at them visually, or we can do a continuity test to make sure we've got continuity between both blades. Right, so all the fuses are okay, tested that. So what I'm going to need to do now is have a look at the tank. You can see the tank is nestled down there in the inner wing. So what we're going to have to do is jack the car up, possibly take that front wheel off so we can get to the pump itself in the reservoir and test to see if we've got feed there. Okay, so we've got the front wheel off. Up in here is where the reservoir is situated. This is where we're going to need to get to have a look at the pump and make sure we've got feed at the pump. So we've checked the fuses and we know they're okay. So we need to just see if we got feed at the pump. If we got feed at the pump, we can then know for certain that our wiring all the way back to the fuse box and the switch is fine, and the problem will be with the pump itself. So let's get this removed, shall we? Right, so as you can see, where we've removed the inner wheel arch here, remove a couple of these clips. Yours might be held in with some screws, or either Phillips screw or Torx screw. Okay, but either way, it's a very simple thing to be able to get off and inspect. You can have a pump for the front and a pump for the back. Now on this, neither's working, so we're just going to check to see if we've got feeds at the pump. Right, so we've got voltage down on to the front screen washer pump. So this one here is the rear, the one in my hand is the front. We know that we got power, okay, coming to both of these pumps here, so we can rule out any break in the wire coming from the switch, the fuse box, etc. So I've just pulled the pipe off of the pump, and now what I need to do is just pull this pump out. So it's just held in on a rubber. Just going to give it a little ease out. You want to be careful because you don't want to break the plastic. Okay, that's that. So there's our pump. This is the front screen washer pump. Now it's exactly the same as the rear one on this model. So this has a pump for the front and a pump for the back. Funnily enough, both of them are not working. The wiring's fine for both the multi-plugs, front and rear. Some vehicles you'll just have one pump which does front and rear, so you'll have two outlet pipes. As I was saying, on this model we don't have that, so we have two pumps. Both pumps are faulty, so let's get one of the pumps on and see if that's cured it. So as you can see, we fitted the new pump, which is just there. That's the old one, so I'm going to have to come back and do this at a later date, replace the rear pump as well, because that's also faulty. Pretty simple. You just push the pump in to the rubber grommets here. You just connect your multi-plug back up. Good to go. So we're going to get some water in there and check the operation and see how we fare. So we're going to pop a little bit of water in first of all, just a token gesture, just to see if we've got any leaks and make sure that one works. No leaks at all. Let's try and get the light in there for you guys. Yeah, there's no leaks. So I'm happy with that. That's all sealed correctly. Looking good. So ignition on. And let's see if that works. There we go, guys. Perfect. So again, do up. You do that one, then that one, diagonal, so you pull the wheel on evenly. If you should just do this side, okay, you're not pulling the wheel on evenly, so do diagonal. Okay. What we're going to do here, get the torque wrench. You'd look up online for your torque settings. It's different for every vehicle. If you've had the wheel off, you need to re-torque it. So I know what I need for my one here. So when you hear that click, that's done up to a specified torque setting. And this will click off. All done under the bonnet. That's filled up now with fluid, and good to shut that down and make sure the jets are all aligned.